You're going to have to leave. This is a crime scene, and no one other than ourselves, our Raniel Draelus, will be allowed access. The culprit in this crime has already been dealt with. It's just a matter of wrapping up the details. I'd tell you more, but frankly, I don't know who you are, so I'm not sure that I can trust you with that sort of information. So? See, was that? I suppose there's no harm in telling you what happened. Word is bound to get around Bruma anyway. Turns out that Braden Lyrian is a vampire. Or was. If it wasn't for Raniel Draelus, we may never have uncovered the truth. Let me explain. In the last week or so, we've found 2 bodies stashed in shallow graves outside the city walls. The bodies had puncture wounds on their necks. The bodies were those of some beggars who used to wander the streets looking for handouts. Vampire probably thought no one would miss them. Luckily for us, Raniel arrived in town. He said he was a vampire hunter, so we asked for his help. He tracked the vampire to this house. When he entered the place around noon, Braden was sleeping. He was able to slay him at that point. Luckily, Braden's wife wasn't home. Poor thing. She didn't even know her husband was infected. We did a follow-up investigation, and it's true that no one recollects seeing Braden out in the daylight. He's only been spotted at night. I'm afraid there's not much more to tell you, so you can see we really don't need any help, but thanks for the offer. As far as I know, he was a good man. I never saw this coming. But vampires are masters of deception, so I guess it makes sense. Feel free to question anyone in town. They shouldn't give you too much trouble. Excuse me.
I can't believe this is happening. Please, please, I need your help. My husband was no vampire. It's ridiculous. No one will listen to me. Forgive me. I loved my husband dearly, and to lose him this way makes no sense. Anything you can do to help would be wonderful. This is all happening so fast. I came home only just a few hours ago. I found the door open and my Braden dead. Standing over him was a Dunmer. I screamed and ran out into the street. Some city watch were nearby and heard me, I suppose, as they arrived quickly. I heard the Dunmer identify himself as Raniel Draelus. He said he was a vampire hunter, and that Braden was his mark. The guards seemed to know about Raniel, and after a search of the house, the body of some beggar was found stashed in our basement. The guards sent for Carius, who is an investigator for crimes here in Bruma. In minutes, Raniel convinced Carius that Braden was a vampire.
Well, of course it does. It was obviously planted here. Why would he stash a body in his own house? That's ridiculous. And another thing. The guards are making a big deal out of no one seeing Braden out in the daylight. Well, of course that's the case. He works at night and has to sleep during the day. Why does that make him a vampire? It's all that Raniel character. I don't trust him. The thing that bothers me the most is that I swear I've seen him before. Of course, he says he's never been here. Look, there isn't much more to say. Please, help me clear my husband's name. I have no idea where he'd be. Just find him and make him tell you the truth. I swear he's a liar. I know I sound desperate, but I know I'm right.
So, any new revelations in your, investigation? I'm sure Arlene is very upset. She'll be safe, though. Raniel has confirmed with us that she isn't infected. I suppose... I'll warn you about one thing. I understand you wanting to help Arlene by checking up on Raniel. We have it on good authority from officials in a neighboring city that Raniel is what he says he is. So I'm not sure what you're trying to prove. I am only allowing you to do this investigation, and I use that term very loosely, because Arlene is so distraught. Keep up the good work, I say.
Hello.
Excuse me. Sir? Yes, the vampire hunter. As far as I know, he just showed up recently here in Bruma. Not only that, but he already found a vampire among us. Apparently, Braden Lyrian was one of those vile creatures, and Raniel slew him. Kind of strange, though. I never figured Braden to be a vampire. He seemed to be such a likable fellow. You too.
Head on. I used to think you were a hero. Oh? Ah, you mean that vampire hunter. He's staying over at Olav's Tap and Tack. It's near the city gates. You can't miss it. Goodbye. Hello. Hello. What can I do for you today? I usually don't give out that kind of information, especially to people I don't know. We'll see. Don't, please. Blah, blah, blah. Don't be silly. You're good. I usually don't give out that... Please, go on. That'll get you something. Raniel's staying in the last room down the hall upstairs. Here's the key. I always liked Braden and Arlene. They were a nice couple. I hope you get to the bottom of this, because I don't believe he was a vampire either. Today's your lucky day. So let's hear it. Don't you think... Hafid Hollowleg does a good job at Zero View? It's hard to complain. Safe travels. Goodbye. I'm really... What can I do for you today? Gelaborn? That's odd that you should mention that name. Raniel told me that he was the last vampire he hunted. Yeah, that's right. Somewhere in Skingrad, I believe. He said he tracked Gelborn down and killed him. That's apparently why the guards trust him so readily. They had gotten word from Skingrad's City Watch about Raniel and his so-called accomplishment. Just look for me if you need...
So, any new revelations in your, investigation? How do you know about that? Oh, too many people don't know how to keep quiet about official matters. Very well. The Skingrad City Watch informed us that Gelaborn was killed by Raniel not too long ago. Gelaborn was a vampire as well, obviously. What do you mean you disagree? That's a bold statement. What proof do you have that Gelaborn was not a vampire? I don't know what to say. It all makes perfect sense now. Why else would Raniel have removed this journal from the crime scene in Skingrad? I heard no mention of a key either. It must have been removed by Raniel from Braden's body before we arrived. To think that 2 innocent men were killed, and that I'm responsible for one of their deaths, I'm speechless. I will rouse the guard and begin a search for him in the city. Meet me at Olev's Tap and Tack in 1 hour. Hurry up!
Anything else I can help with? And nothing else I can tell you about him. He comes and goes and doesn't talk to people much. Just look for me if you need anything else. I'm really tired. Shadow hide you. Stay, go.
Stop! Just before I arrived here, I received a report from one of our scouts watching the roads. Raniel was spotted heading west out of Bruma. The scout tried to follow, but lost him in the mountains. The only cave to the west that comes close to the one described in Gelaborn's journal is Boreal Stone Cave. That must be where he's headed. You must get there before he acquires whatever artifact is being kept there and makes his escape. I'm keeping the city guard in Bruma, as Raniel doesn't know we're after him. If he sees a guard, he may panic and run. You're my only hope at the moment. Please, you have my authorization to do everything you can to bring him to justice. If he won't surrender, I think you know what to do. Hurry. I fear you have a day at the most to stop him. If all you say is true, Raniel will answer for Braden's death. Raniel will pay for both crimes. Gelaborn was likely another innocent he slain. I'll make sure Skingrad City Watch hears of this. I can't wait to get my hands on Raniel. He'll become very familiar with Bruma's dungeons, or the end of my blade if he doesn't come peacefully. Please hurry.
Congratulations. I had a feeling you would catch on sooner or later. Leaving that journal behind was a stupid mistake on my part. I saw you enter Olav's tap and tack before I could get there, and I knew that I had to sneak out of Bruma somehow. It was only a matter of time before you or Carius figured it out. No matter. After I've killed you, I won't need my vampire hunter ruse any longer. Certainly not. I'm surprised Carius didn't send the entire city watch up here, but then I would have seen that coming, I suppose. I expected to lay low for a while and then be on my way. So again, I underestimated you. This leaves me with little choice. Either I fight you now and have a chance at freedom, or I surrender and rot in a city dungeon. I prefer the chance for freedom. Yes, I suppose it is. Well then, we've talked enough. Only one of us will walk out of here alive this day. Good luck. Ow!
I was praying for your swift return. What news do you bring? Yes, I remember Braden mentioning that name once. He was part of the brotherhood he had created with Raniel. I knew I'd recognized Raniel. I think when I first met Braden many years ago, he introduced me to him. They were part of some sort of brotherhood. They would roam Cyrodiil in search of legendary treasures and the like. The only reason he stopped doing that is because we got married and he wanted to settle down. I'm afraid, thanks to Raniel, that time is lost. Long ago, I made a promise to Braden. I promised to never reveal to anyone what I'm about to reveal to you now. However, because you've avenged his unjust death, I feel that Braden would understand why I'm breaking that pact. Braden told me about this amulet when they first brought it home from whatever distant land it came from. He never really trusted anyone else in the group, and before he secured the treasure in that cave, he had a special enchantment placed upon it. The magic masks the true identity of the item. All it takes is a simple command word, and the amulet would be restored to its true state. No. He always feared this day would come. He left me knowledge of that word in the event that he died, and I came into possession of the keys. If the other members of Braden's group were still alive, and I on my deathbed. Only then would I pass the knowledge on to them. If you'd give me that amulet, I would like to show you what you've recovered. Thank you. I will now speak the word. Brotherhood. Here is the amulet back. It's as beautiful as it was the day I remember seeing it long ago. I want you to keep it, as I have no use for this anymore. I'm certain that's what I want, and I'm certain that's what Braden would want. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope that the amulet helps keep you safe on whatever roads you may travel. I'm glad he's dead. I know that's a horrible thing to say, but I think you understand. Justice has been done.
You wouldn't happen to be in the market for a home, would you? If you are, I just happen to be selling a manor located right here in Anvil. Yes, I'm selling my grandfather's house, Benirus Manor. If you're interested, I could let you have it for a modest sum. I have to sell it soon, as I have pressing matters elsewhere. You're welcome to take a look at it. It is located across the street from the chapel. Once you buy, you get the key to the front door and the deed of ownership. That's the deal. Would you like to buy it now? Well, I'll be here every day from noon until midnight. Let me know if you change your mind. Hello, good... Sir, that manor... If you want to buy... that manor... For you, of course. Excellent. Here's the key to the front door and the deed of ownership. I hope you enjoy your new home. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must attend to those pressing matters I spoke of earlier. Good day. Guards! Guards! We've got a pickpocket here! By the night of... One more coin? I'm not sure where he went, but I would ask at the Count's Arms. If anyone knows where he is, it would be someone there. Bleh. Sings of Standard upon me.
Did your omelette say as soon as you bought the place, he pretty much up and left? I hear tell he's making his way to the Imperial City.
Let's hear it.
If I had a question about heavy armor, I'd probably ask Varnado at the best defense. What do you think? I'm surprised to see you all the way out here in the Imperial City. So, you think I'm responsible? I suppose you're right, as the manor used to belong to my grandfather, Lorgren Benirus. I knew there was a curse on that place, which is why I sold it to you so cheap. I suppose I should have warned you, but I had to get out of Anvil. My family said I could move here to the Imperial City once all our loose ends were tied down. The manor was one of those loose ends. I fear my own greed got the better of my judgment. I hope you weren't hurt badly in that horrible place. I suppose I assumed you'd be able to lift the curse and be done with it. Lorgren Benirus was a strange old man, always dabbling and experimenting with magic. He was mostly harmless, until the fateful day he came across a tome bearing the evil magic of necromancy. He became obsessed and decided that by using necromancy, he could prolong his own life. The dark arts contained in the tome called for him to dig up the recently deceased in the nearby crypts under the cathedral. When it was discovered that he did this, the Mages Guild called for a quick meeting to decide what to do. It only took minutes to decide. Led by a young upstart named Cyrodiil, the Mages Guild stormed Benirus Manor and slew Lorgren. However, amid the chaos, his body vanished. Because of this, the people of Anvil concluded the manor must be cursed. You are the first person to set foot inside in a long time. According to the diary entry, it seems that I'm the only one who can open the secret door in the manor. And I can't help feeling slightly guilty selling you the place under these circumstances. I'll meet you in Anvil at the Count's Arms. From there, we'll try to lift the curse together. I'll see you in Anvil. You've got a real bounce to your step.
Its scent is unfamiliar.
How goes it?
Greetings!
Hello.
What's...
I'm ready. I was half expecting you not to show up. Are you ready to go to the manor? Then let's get this over with. I don't relish the thought of spending too long inside of the manor. Follow me.
Hi there.
How do you do? Okay, you lead from here. Hopefully we can make it to the basement without too much fighting. I'm pleased we were able to get that secret door open, but I fear I can no longer assist you here. I'll wait for you at the Count's Arms.
I desire the chance to atone for my sins. The things I've done to the people of Anvil, the horrible, unspeakable acts I've committed, demand repentance. Cyrodiil was justified in his actions. Slaying me was the only way to stop the madness. I have accepted that fate. Now, so I may make my final peace with the Nine, please rejoin my hand to my body. Only then, when I am complete, will this eternal nightmare end. It never fails to amuse me how easy mortal man is to manipulate. You've assisted me in completing the very thing Cyrodiil and his cabal sought to prevent all those years ago. My ascension to immortality. Last time I clashed with mortals, I underestimated their power. I shall not repeat that mistake twice. I live again.
What?
How do you do?
I'm sorry for running away like that, but fear got the best of me. I'm glad you talked me into coming with you. Now that the curse has been lifted, I feel like I've taken care of my family's unfinished business. Excellent work, my friend. May the Manor give you many years of happiness. I'm now off to the Imperial City once more. Farewell.
How goes it? How are you?